What to do, what to do, what is up with you? Welcome, welcome back to my channel. Um, in my June rethinking my TBR video, I said one of the goals that I had was to, uh, along with reading all the books that I own, was to unhaul some books. I have a nasty habit of when I'm reading books and I finish reading them, I don't go, well, maybe I'm going to reread this. No, I keep on to these books and I need to get rid of them. Like I said, space in the void is finite and it's not infinite. It's actually finite. It's actually quite limited. So I have a whole cupboard here of books that I have read over the past 2 years, and I have not gotten rid of most of them. Some books have been taken out. Like I have friends who are readers, and they come in and they do raid my cupboard. They raid the book cupboard, and there are just some books that I don't think I need to hold on to. So this is gonna be my unhaul video. So I'm gonna unhaul, and then you're gonna see me give these books away. Hopefully. Are you ready? I feel anxious. Let's go. Warning, I am going to be talking about these books, and you will get my true feelings about some of these books. So if I'm unhauling any books that you like, or I'm talking nasty about any of the books that you like, don't come for me. Don't come for me. This is my thoughts, my opinions, and don't get up on your feelings about it. It's my opinion. My opinion will not affect any way, in any way, any books that you personally like and enjoy. It's just my opinion. Don't come for me. So the first book I'm going to unhaul is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I actually DNF this book. So this is all about a 17-year-old girl who lives in a world where there's a class system. The silvers are on top and the reds are on the bottom. And she turns out to be a red. The silvers on top have powers, and she turns out to be a red who has powers. And I DNF this book 81% in. Not 81%, 181 pages in. I figured out where the story was going, and then looked it up, and that's where the story was going. I was 100% correct. And I just didn't want to continue a series that I knew what was going to happen, because I can tell you for now, I knew what was the second book was going to be about. Knew what the third book was going to be about. I didn't even read them. I just know what they were going to be about. So, yeah, I put this book down, and I am going to unhaul it. I'm hoping that it will go to somebody who will get more worth from it. It's just not for me. Not for me. I'm actually also thinking about unhauling the rest of the Shadow and Bone series because the character is so annoying. But for now, I'm going to get rid of the Red Queen. Next up on the chopping block is The House of Tongues by James Dashner. This is a horror thriller kind of thing. Um, People say this is very gory. I find the gore, like, on a scale from 1 to 10, it was like a 3. Who's a 3? Anyway, this book is all about David Player. He is taking his kids to see his parents, and while he's at his parents' house, he finds out he hears a knock at the door. They open the door, and there's a guy there. He asks for David, and when he sees David, he starts to choke on his tongue, and it turns out that this guy is the son of the serial killer that used to torment David when he was 16 years old. The book is told from two different timelines, so present day timeline when the book was written, I guess, and back in like 1989, and it was a mid story. I gave this a 4 star, but it's like a low 4 stars, like to the point where I'm rethinking my rating, and I'm thinking about giving it like a 3.5. It was fine. It was okay. I thought at one point that the town was gonna turn on on David, but it turns out that wasn't the case. People were very understanding, and then that ending was very, huh? So I'm gonna unhaul this book. Unhaul. Okay, next is a book where that warning at the beginning is about. So I'm gonna unhaul Normal People by Sally Rooney. I gave this a 3 star. When I was reading this book, I did read this book in like a night. Um, in its entirety, a night. This book is all about two people. I think one is called Connell and the other one is Miriam. And they grow up together, and when they're in high school, they start sleeping together. And then, like, Connell is the popular guy in school, and Miriam is like the sad loser in school. And then when they go to university, Connell turns out he's the loser one. He can't really integrate in people in college and university, and Miriam is now the popular one, right? And they start their whole sleeping with each other thing again. And I tell you what, this book was smoke. It's smoke. No tangible, not tangible. It was smoke. It was smoke. It was like reading smoke. Um, I didn't care about their relationship. It was a series of events that was happening, but had no tangible stuff to it. Like, one of the reviews after I finished this book and went on Goodreads literally read, sleep together or don't sleep together. Don't spend 200 pages whining about it. No one cares. And it was right. I didn't care. I didn't care. I did not care. And there's so much stuff. I've seen so much stuff about, oh, it's about being in your mid 20s and like not knowing where you're going to go next in life. And okay, okay, I get that. I understand that. But you grow out of that. You grow out of that bit. Actually, for most of us, we already know what we're gonna do. We get a job. We have children. Most of us know that. Most of us know. It's not everybody that doesn't know what they're gonna do next in life. Most of us know what we're gonna do. We're not going. People with money are the people that are going, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life next. Oh my god. People who don't have money, people who grew up middle class and lower, understand where they're gonna go to. They have an aim. It's people who have money, who grew up with money, are going, oh my god, I don't know what I'm gonna do next with my life. What am I supposed to do? That's the I mean, even this book shows that because Connell knows what he's gonna do in life. But Rarian, the rich one, she ain't got no fucking clue. She ain't got no clue. Um It was smoke. It was reading smoke. I don't care. Why, Sally, do you not like quotations? Quotation marks. They are there for a reading. It's supposed to tell you when somebody's talking. Why don't you use them? They're basic punctuation. Why don't you use them what is it an aesthetic thing? Because it's annoying. Like I had to read this with an audiobook. Thank good I had the audiobook because I would have known when somebody was talking. I wouldn't have known. Like, why do you hate quotation marks? You're in England. You're in the UK. Your book is set in Ireland. You don't even have to use both quotation marks. You could just use the one quotation marks. Why do you hate it? It just made it was nothing. I felt nothing. That is
Next
so
is
much.
Soulless by Gail Carriger.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't remember this book. I don't remember it. I don't remember any detail of this book. Um, I think I read this before I read Normal People. So Normal People is more recent. That's why I remember it. But this, I do not, for the life of me, remember anything about this book. I'm pretty sure I can like reread this book and experience everything for the very first time. Um, I know that it's part of a series. It's like a Parasol series, I think. And the reason why I read this was because it was a book for Vampire Book Club. But other than that, I remember liking the relationship between our main character Alexia and the head vampire. Okay, let me try and explain this book to you. From what I remember, this is set in a world where supernatural beings are part of society. People know that they exist. It's set in England. It's set in an alternate reality where it's kind of more steampunky and people know about like vampires, ghosts, werewolves, and all of that. They're part of like a secret, not a secret society, but they're like part of like a different section of like government. Everybody knows about them. Humans are controlled by the human government, vampires are controlled by the vampire government, and werewolves are controlled by like the werewolf government. And she is just some random woman who has the ability, she has like a preternatural ability to, I think, speaks to the dead, but she is human, and she starts getting attacked. I think she's getting attacked. I don't remember. I do know that she and the head of the vampire, no, the head of the werewolf clan fall in love, and their romance is really cute. And I really did like their romance. Other than that, couldn't tell you nothing. Could not tell you anything about this. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you a thing. Couldn't tell you a thing. Couldn't tell you. If I if I read this book again, it'll be for the first time. Cause could tell you. I think at one point something had to do with science. Couldn't tell you. So is going in. It's going in the co-op bin. I remember. She has the ability to negate everybody's powers. She's a preternatural. She has the ability to touch a vampire and all that like vampireness they turn human. She also has the ability to like touch a werewolf and like the werewolf side of them go away. That's what she has. That's why she's important. That's why people are attacking her because she has the ability to do that. Um, and then vampires start like disappearing and popping up, and she's soulless. That's it. She's a soulless. Screw it. I'm keeping this book. I need to reread this book. I need to reread this because I clearly don't remember anything about this book. Oh shit, it says here her soulless ability to negate supernatural powers. I remember. I remember it now. I remember now. And I remember enjoying the book. It was like really funny and Never mind. Never mind. This book is staying. This book is staying in my house. I'm gonna get the rest of them. I remember now. This book is staying. Next is Dracula's Child by J.S. Barnes. This is a Dracula sequel written by somebody else, and it talks about it's set like 12 years after Dracula, the end of Dracula, and it revolves around Mina and Jonathan's son Quincy, and how Dracula is trying to use Quincy to come back from the dead. That's why he's Dracula's child, because he's a child, and Dracula's trying to use him to get back. This, so I read Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. I've unhauled that book already. My friend has that. I gave that to him. This book could basically, and in that book, that is all about Dracula. What if Dracula won? Right? Dracula won, took over England, and everybody we know are vampires and stuff. This is kind of like the bridge between Dracula and how Dracula takes over England in Anno Dracula. Because in Anno Dracula, you never understand why or how Dracula did it. It's just you open the book and you're living in a world where Dracula rules England. In this, it goes through how it was possible for Dracula to take over. So basically, you read Dracula, Dracula dies at the end. You read this, Dracula comes back. And if he had succeeded, then Anno Dracula would have happened. And I that's what I like about the Dracula books, the Dracula mythos books, because everybody understood the assignment. Everyone understood the assignment, and the story could be twisted and turned in many different ways. There is a book in here that serves as like a prequel book to Dracula, but focuses on Bram Stoker as a character. And I'm keeping that book. I'm keeping that book. This one, though, I might get rid of because am I ever going to reread this? Probably not. But at the same time, I've already given up Anno Dracula. I think maybe I'll give this up. It wasn't a bad read. It wasn't a bad read. It just felt. Yeah, I think maybe I'll give this up. I was reading this for Vampire Book Club. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay. But for now, yeah, I think I'm gonna give this up. There's another one that I'm gonna this one next is A Company of Liars by Karen Mitland. This is set, it's a like historical fiction novel set during the plague, and we're following like a group of people who are liars. They're lying about everything in their life, and we're following them trying as they try to keep ahead of the plague. This book is okay. It was not everyone is a liar, and you as you the book goes on, they're uncovering the lies, and people keep dying amongst their group, and you're trying to figure out why they're dying. It was okay. The ending came out of nowhere. It was like, what? I'm not sure if this is the first book in a series. I'm not sure. But I read this a long time ago. I read this in like 2018. So I'm kind of tempted to unhaul this. Um, yeah, I think I might unhaul this as well. Next is 50/50 by Steve Kavanagh. I really enjoyed this book, but I'm never going to read this book again. Um, this is a book all about two sisters. Um, it's part of like a procedural thing, but you know what I mean. It's about uh two sisters, one called 911, and the other is like trying to accuse her sister of killing their father. It was really good. It was really like fast paced and stuff. I really did enjoy this, but I don't know if I'm gonna reread this book. Um, I don't think I'm gonna reread this book. And I haven't read Twisted yet. I do like Steve Kavanaugh as an author, but I think I'm going to unhaul this so somebody else can read it. And finally, for now at least, I am gonna unhaul Blood Sugar by Daniel Kraus. This is takes place in on Halloween, and it's like some kids. They're planning to put razor blades and drugs into Halloween candy, and it gets very dark and very existential um, as the night goes along because they're preparing for Halloween. They're three kids and one like adult in his 20s, and it's really the adult story. You're just finding out from the kids what's happening, at least one kid what's happening. I read this, I loved it, but I'm never gonna read it again, so I'm gonna unhaul it.